Wow, that's very different than our typical intro. Is that a different language for good morning, evening, afternoon?
Yeah, that's the language I just made up right now. Hello, how are you doing, Nathanael?
Oh, did we actually start a podcast?
Sure, why not?
I'm doing great, Evan. How are you?
I'm doing excellent on this hot day here in San Diego.
Yeah, actually,
we're replacing ourselves. We're in San Diego, if you didn't know. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm not doing that great because I'm drenched in sweat. But
You're always drenched in sweat.
That is very true. So I'm never doing well, I guess is what I was saying.
Hello, Merrielle. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
That's good. Yeah, sorry. It's just like, oh, sweat. Awesome.
Yeah, we're joined by our friend Merrielle today, and. Are you...
This isn't take two of anything.
No, not at all.
No behind the scenes.
It's not like we recorded a different podcast and then it didn't work.
And then had to do this again. No, of course not. Yes, but Merrielle, our token female guest. Which I feel bad that it's taken so long to get a female on. And it sucks because it just seems... Something always seems to happen. And even when we get an episode recorded, it's like, yeah, no, didn't work. It's like it's something about this podcast just doesn't want females on for some reason.
It's just eternally sexist. That's it.
The medium itself, not us.
Man,
it could be a little.
It's not. We're trying so hard not to be sexist that we become sexist. And we're just like,
it's like reverse psychology.
And Lord knows, like we've tried, like scheduling just hasn't worked. And technical difficulties have tried everything in their power.
We even tried to turn me into a woman, but that I just didn't agree with it. So
man, Lord knows we've tried, and by grace of God, this one's gonna work. So
it will, unless something happens.
Will it though?
Man, knock on wood. And I just have a wooden slab here just to knock, just for instances.
And it's shaped like a bear, and it's looking at me creepily. So
it's gonna come to
life
and devour Nathanael really quickly.
Please do it. I'm really hot right now. It's so hot. Okay, so
news. So Attack on Titan season 3.
Yes,
is premiering July 22nd this month. And that's super exciting because season 2 is really good, and it's getting a whole 24 episodes.
Yes, because season 2 was only like 13 episodes, so it's like twice the size, basically, kind of like the first season.
Yeah, and it's covering a lot. It's covering a lot of like manga material because it's basically waited for the manga to kind of get established, and then now the anime is catching up with the manga, which how it typically goes. But
right,
so
we don't have them like creating a bunch of like original crap not based on the manga, which we don't want.
There have been issues with that. Also, I don't know if you heard, but Sword Art Online season 3 trailer was released.
Oh, is that still going?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they made a movie, Ordinate Scale, which I haven't seen, but I heard it's okay. But yeah, apparently, well, I've heard it's okay. But apparently, that's warranted a season 3. So now they're getting a season 3.
Oh.
And I don't know when it's coming out. I saw like thumbnails for it. I didn't click on it, but I saw that was a thing that was trending for a little bit.
I feel like season 1 came out a long time ago at this point.
I think it was like 2016.
No, I feel like it was longer than that.
I'm pretty sure it was longer than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it came out while I was in high school. So
it did?
Yeah.
I guess
actually before that.
I guess I just saw it really late.
It must have been like maybe 2013, maybe 2014.
Oh man, that seems really old.
Or maybe even further than that.
Trying to Google search, but
that's 5 years old already. But yeah, it's getting a season 3 supposedly, and apparently there's a lot of controversy because it looks like the main character Kirito dies in the trailer.
Oh.
Or it looks like something bad happens to him. So there's a lot of people.
But I mean, anime does that sometimes. And then
like to be fair, like deaths in anime aren't like
so final.
No, it's like if you're a Supernatural fan, if Sam or Dean die, you know that they're not going to die. Like
in basically every season. That happens.
2012.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
older than we thought. Wow. Yeah, that's an old series.
That's why I'm surprised they're coming up with a 3rd season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, friggin' six years later, it's still going strong, I guess. But so then that happened, and then the Dragon Ball Super movie.
Yeah.
The Japanese release is going to be December 14th. The English dub U.S. release is announced January 9th.
That's not too
And
far after.
apparently, now, Broly is canon.
Yeah, I heard about that. He's going to be like the villain or something.
He's the main villain of this Dragon Ball Super movie. It's Dragon Ball Super Broly. And this is Akira Toriyama's take on the Broly character. Because he...
Oh, he didn't create him.
No, he didn't create him. No, well, he created the designs for him initially, but then another guy created the story for him. So so Akira Toriyama had no involvement in that. This is Akira Toriyama's take on Broly.
So now he's like, no, I own you.
Yeah, so now Broly is canon, or he will be canon. So of course, a lot of Dragon Ball fans who hate Broly, I've been on Twitter and they're
ranting.
They're up in arms, like, how dare you? And then you see all the gifs of Broly smirking, saying, hey, I'm canon now. What's up? And I don't know how I feel about it. I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was like someone like a fan like made like a poster or whatever, and then said, oh, here's a leaked image of the poster. But then it showed up on the actual Dragon Ball movie website.
What do you think about it?
I'm interested. I don't hate the idea because
The old Broly-Poly?
Broly Poly. I don't hate the idea. I'm interested to see what Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, just blend his names together.
Akira. I'm curious to see what Toriyama does with the character, and because he's good at like telling stories and character creation. Like he's typically good at that.
Yeah.
But
it's just this character.
This character is very infamous for being like just power crazy, no real development to his character, and the only reason why he's strong is a really stupid reason.
So maybe he'll have some actual development this time.
Yes, maybe. So okay. I'm hopeful, and I'm curious to see what will happen or how that movie will go. So
can't really judge it till you see it. So.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people need to slow their roll on a little bit, because I think people just immediately they're like, it's something I don't like, burn it. But we don't know what it's going to be like. We think everyone thought that Christian Bale as Batman was going to be the worst thing ever, but then he turned out to be one of the best Batmans ever.
Exactly, and everyone thought Ben Affleck as.
Wait. Well, the thing that sucks is that was my argument when everyone was like, hey, Ben Affleck got casted as Batman. I'm like, hold on, let's give him a chance. Like, everyone thought that this was going to suck. Everyone thought Heath Ledger as the Joker was going to suck, but then that turned out to be great.
Be the best.
Yeah, that was the best Joker.
And then it came out, I was like, oh no.
And then we saw him and I was like, okay, no, that was warranted. But
that was more of a coincidence. It's not so much
like, okay, now you can hate. You can hate.
See, now that you saw it, but
he had some moments, but other than that, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that warehouse scene was awesome in Batman vs Superman. That warehouse.
I don't even remember it.
You don't even remember that?
I don't even remember it.
That's the only that's the shining gem that came out of that movie. It's like that huge turd pooped out of Pearl, and that's the only thing that I remember. And it's just a beautiful. That's like
yeah, I couldn't see it. There was just too much poop everywhere in the way.
It's like there's too much poop in my eyes.
It's like Suicide Squad.
Oh, don't get me started on whatever you said. I'm just gonna block it out. Just happy thoughts. Ben Affleck being tortured. Okay. All right.
Wait, what? There was no what?
I was gonna say there was no happy moments.
No.
Except when characters would, get really hurt or something. There's this Nathanael said when characters getting tortured.
You become a sadist all of a sudden. You're just like, yes,
suffer.
All right. Merrielle.
So I guess we just said anime news, which is not foreshadowing at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, Merrielle, what have you been entertaining yourself with in the realm of nerdy stuff? What's your poison?
Alright, so I've been failing lately at watching anime.
Oh no.
Mostly because I've actually been watching TV in general.
Yes. Not that anime is bad. Anime is great.
But one of the recent ones that I kind of got into and absolutely loved was Psyche.
Yes.
I haven't heard of that one. Oh.
Evan has heard of it. He has.
He forgot. Tell him what it's about.
So, it's kind of just making fun of all other animes. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. It's the two girls, right?
No. It's a psychic dude.
It's the guy with the pink hair and the weird things on the side of his head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's on Netflix, but it's hilarious. And So, like, the main character basically has, like, psychic powers, and he hides it from the rest of the world, and the only people who know about it are his parents.
Who are crazy.
Yeah, who are crazy. And
so if his parents tell anyone, they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect person to to confide a top secret in, because it's like no one will believe them. It's like hillbillies with aliens. It's like, I think that's why aliens only go to where hillbillies are and create crop circles, because no one's gonna believe Billy Joe over here. He's like, well, it looked like a booger with really skinny legs. It's like, no one's gonna believe him.
Have you been drinking? Yes, but hear me out. Yeah, so he like controls a bunch of different things with his mind and is like really overpowered, but that leads to like a lot of great comedy. It makes fun of a lot of anime tropes.
Okay.
Especially with like the whole hair thing too.
Yeah.
How they like anime characters have these ridiculous hair colors or just like design. It's just very obvious. It's different.
That's fair. Nathanael, what about you, man?
Let me rack my brain. I've been playing more God of War recently. Actually, I came back to it because I haven't beat the Valkyries.
Oh yeah, they're hard.
Yeah, so I've been going back and doing that, upgrading. I've beaten 4 of them, so I'm halfway there. So yeah, they're really fun to fight, but I've been playing them on the difficulty before the hardest.
Ooh.
So it takes me about an hour.
So that's give me a challenge, right?
Yeah. It's
right before give me God of War.
Yes. So I was a while ago. I was playing through them with my friend Caleb, and they are intense. We were like sweating and yelling, and it was just like insane. It's like, oh yeah, this is a game.
It became like an anime episode. It's just like
basically we're just like
the more you scream, the more power you got.
Oh wait, it doesn't work. It's a controller. It doesn't listen to me.
No,
my power level didn't go up.
No,
I just got tired.
Well, power levels are irrelevant.
That's true.
Yeah, but so I saw anime that was on a recommended page for me for a really long time, and I skipped by it because I know it's on everyone's guilty pleasure list, and it's a really like dumb anime to watch. But I caved in and I watched it a little bit, and I see why everyone says it's a guilty pleasure, because it's just so like in your face. I don't know if you guys
Kill a Kill.
No, I watched that a little bit. I get why, but what I'm talking about is worse than that.
Oh no! What are we talking about?
I feel like dirty for saying its name. High School DxD. You know what it is. Yeah, Merrielle knows what I'm talking about. It's so stupid. There's so many times where I kind of stop and I go, okay, they know what they're doing with this with the English dub dialogue. This almost seems like an abridged series with some of this dialogue, because it's so ridiculous. Like, there's no way. And it is like I've watched it. I think there's 4 seasons of it.
Oh no, how much have you watched?
I've only watched like half of the first season, because I was just like, this is ridiculous. I can't watch this.
Couldn't do it anymore?
No.
You gotta make it through all 4 seasons.
I don't know if I can.
I don't know if he's that sadistic, is he?
And it's frustrating. It's not going to be on Netflix.
No, I'm looking for some other stuff that I've been watching.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it's not going to be on Netflix.
No.
And when it comes to like fan service, it's a very fan servicey show. And that's what kind of turned me off to it, because I was just like, okay, this is it's literally in your face, and it leaves nothing to the imagination, and it's very kind of like, okay,
nothing.
It leaves
like 5%.
Well, I mean, if we're going to percentages, it's probably about 5% of the imagination. Everything else is there. But
sounds like an artistic venture to me.
I wanted to get invested in the story, but I couldn't, because
is there really a story though?
The thing is, though, there is a very thin story about like friendship, however, and like loyalty, but it's just trumped by like nudity and perversions. And it's kind of sad, actually. And the main character kind of like goes between being a genuinely good guy to an unnecessarily roided horn dog. Like there's just no there's no like in between. Like there's no like he's a genuinely
Sounds
nice,
like a complex character to me.
man.
Not.
And when he's a genuinely nice guy, I root for him. But then he immediately goes back to being a perv, and I'm like, okay, I can't, dude. It's ridiculous. And
Directed by Michael Bay.
you know what? If animes had American directors, yeah, he would probably direct this one.
Well, if he directed this one,
Because
it probably
there's-
wouldn't be as bad, honestly.
Well, no, because there's a lot of explosions and there's a lot of nudity. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Does Michael?
There's not an airplane blowing up or like a helicopter blowing up. It's not Michael Bay.
I mean, there's buildings blowing up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's pretty close.
Pretty close. And and then there's there's like dragons and fallen angels and demons.
I bet the dragons are naked too, right?
Typical
dragons.
No, the dragons are the red drag who possesses the main character. He's voiced in the English dub. He's voiced by Chris Sabat.
Really?
Yes, and that's when I heard it, and I was like, okay, that voice sounds really familiar. Like this voice right now sounds like All Might. Like the voice he's doing. Yeah. So then I went and I looked up, and it was like, yeah, no, that's totally Chris Sabat, and he has a part in this anime. I cannot believe this.
What have you done? Your reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, you do anime.
I mean, and the thing is, though, he's probably the least vulgar character in this whole show. Like he's the one who's more about like grace, honor, integrity, all that stuff. But then everyone else is just like no boobs, and it's like oh my gosh. So I can't watch it anymore. I stopped watching it.
Okay, that's probably a good call.
Yeah,
Probably.
Unless you really want to go through 4 seasons of it. You might
unless you
want
go in,
to
like, a
blow
tough-
your brains out afterwards.
like
but
I'm honestly like part of me is curious to see where the story goes, but then I don't know if I want to sit through all.
But then you remember the story is just like not.
Really?
anything.
I don't want to get through it and then the story was non-existent. Great, all right.
Yeah, there's another anime you could watch for story. Erased, for example.
Is this what you want to spend your time into?
No,
Do you
no.
want to waste any part of your life in 4 seasons of this?
I don't want to waste any more of my life in this because I've already wasted some time, but I don't think I want to waste any more. Okay, I think that's a good segue into our main topic. Yes.
Anime.
So this has just been the anime episode. There's just been no stopping. It's just been anime nonstop. But
I mean, our main topic is supposed to be anime, so.
So I mean, I guess that's fair. But so just around the table, like, what is anime to you? Or like when you heard of anime, what was that? So
to me, growing up, anime was like Pokemon and Digimon.
okay.
That was like my first introduction into anime. But at the time, I'm not 100% sure I knew it was anime. It was just like
It was a cartoon.
Japanese cartoons. I knew they were Japanese. They were cartoons.
It was a Japanese cartoon that I knew that had a video game that I could play.
Yes.
Right.
Except for Digimon. I didn't play Digimon games, which there were.
Yeah, there were. Not that many.
But
It wasn't as prevalent as
to me, exactly, yeah. To me, anime is basically just Japanese animation. I mean, that's the simplest way I could put it.
Right. What about you?
There's like a lot of things
What about you,
around that.
Merrielle?
Yeah, basically, as Nathanael said, it's Japanese animation and just very, very, in most cases, complicated artwork and not
Well, not complicated, just complex.
complex
more, yeah.
is a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
But similar to Nathanael with that is I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon, and
A lot of the things that were on like Saturday morning cartoons.
yeah, that you normally watch.
Mostly run by 4Kids, which now has kind of gone down in infamy as being one of the worst, like dubbed.
Now they're for adults. They're not. I don't
No,
know.
they're not. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yes, yeah, you growing up with with kind of like similar. I agree. Like I think we all kind of grew up watching similar cartoons, like the Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. For me, the first real big one was Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Was the first real big anime. And at the time, I didn't realize that was an anime. To me, that was just a cartoon show that I watched.
Right.
It wasn't until later where I realized, like there's a subsection of like cartoons or Japanese cartoons, which is anime, which is like animation, and I think once I knew that there was a whole subsection of that, and I realized, there's more than that. Like that, I got excited and then kind of like went and explored more. Stuff like that.
I think when I first started exploring and actually knew what anime was, I started out with like Bleach and Naruto and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of Naruto I think is one of the gateway animes too.
Yeah,
the gateway drug. And
I had actually seen it on a Spanish channel because I didn't have like any. I hadn't found it on the internet. It was just they had it dubbed in Spanish, but they replayed the same season like nonstop. Yeah. Naruto Uzumaki. I mean, it's very similar to Japanese.
¿Qué pasa?
but they then I found it online, and that's when I got obsessed and started watching all sorts of other things. I discovered like Full Metal Alchemist.
Japanese too.
All the languages. Not just Spanish.
Addiction became.
Yes. Yeah. That started
it's the gateway. Usually there's one that is someone's gateway into the drug that is anime. And for me, Dragon Ball Z was mine. Yours, you consider it to be Naruto.
I think it was Naruto. Yeah. That's kind of the segue that led me to looking online.
What was your gateway? What was your real first one that kind of?
Probably Bleach. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were talking to him.
No.
Thanks, Nathanael.
Just
go ahead, Merrielle. Go ahead.
Watching Bleach.
I think I did watch that one, but it was not my gateway one. So I didn't start watching anime till like middle high school.
Right.
Because my friend was like, "You should watch anime." I was like, "No," and then curiously started looking at some animes.
You're like, okay, what's this about?
Yeah, so I started. The first one, the real one I ever watched was Wolf's Rain. Just kind of not when most people start watching until like way after, or even if so, because it's older.
Yeah.
Because I think it either came out like late 80s or 90s.
I think it was 88, I think.
That it came out.
Yeah, it was 88 or 89.
That was a good period for anime, because I think that's the same time Cowboy Bebop.
I think Cowboy was 91, I think.
Yeah, so just a good period of time for anime, but that was the first one I ever watched, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Right, yeah.
And then, it went from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's awesome because it's a fun thing where it's like kind of like what we said before. It's a lot of like complex. It's like complex art, and when it's paired with great storytelling, it like can easily grab your attention and make you kind of like it really like pulls you into whatever world that is, and it does a really good job with that.
Because it's a lot different than what we like in America and like what we normally watch.
Right.
So it's just something that's different. You usually tend to grab our attention a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about anime that do you guys think that is just different that makes it stand out from American animation? Not just the art itself, but just everything about it. I know one of the things that immediately stood out to me was the type
I like how you asked the question and then just answered yourself.
I thought I would like give you a little bit of a chance to talk, but if you got something,
I'm teasing you.
Yeah, I think to answer my own question, I think the style of comedy is very different. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of it is very extreme and would be I think what is shocking for a lot of Americans when they first see it. Because I know I've showed it to some people and they've just been like, what the heck is this? I don't even know how to take this in.
It's too much.
It's too much. I don't know what to do. Okay, I say it bad. But yeah, it's just like a lot of...
I need to sleep now.
A lot of like visual comedy, like body language and just like a lot of weird expressions that just go beyond what the face could actually do. And that's like one of the things I think that sets it apart from American cartoons or anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Merrielle, what are your thoughts? What do you think? I'm still trying to compile my thoughts.
This is not true for all animes, but the fact that they put a lot more effort into the artwork and just because like especially here, like cartoons and stuff are normally associated with like kids and stuff, but like anime is more associated with adults, or at least like teenagers. Because we don't have as much here like American shows that are animated that are for like adults.
Yeah.
It's more Japanese based.
I think there's like definitely a contrast in the art of it.
Oh, yeah. I think so too. I think just like with the characters, I think in like characters and storytelling and just kind of like plot development, it's a lot more, I think, passionate. I think is a good way to put it, because there's a lot more like characters get a lot more passionate than some other characters, whether it's in American cartoons or American movies.
There's a lot of yelling.
Yeah, there is, but I think with it's a lot more passion with like simple, just kind of like simple
Tropes.
Well, like simple storytelling and stuff. Like it's something as simple as like being a good friend. Like those themes, like people, like characters, they become very passionate about, and it shows that those things are very important. And I think it's different because people don't really tend to think that, you know, some things that simple can be that important, or that can be that emphasized. And I think that was something that I remember in a lot of shows where they emphasized something as simple as just friendship and stuff, and that was important, and that was a main theme and stuff. So whereas other things, it's like good versus evil, you know, and whereas this, they downscale the theme, but then they add elements around it to intensify it and make it like bigger than it actually is. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or am I just like rambling?
No, that makes sense to me.
It does make sense.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a passion behind it that is just expressed differently than it is in the US or anywhere else. And part of that is just through emotion in the characters, or through just the extremeness of fights, and just I don't know, the way that backgrounds are drawn, and it's just very different. And I think to the typical American feels very foreign.
Yeah. And then there's also, because Japanese anime is Japanese, you'll notice all the cultural differences as well. It's like you notice, especially kind of like in the more high school based ones, like how their systems are different, or how the people are different.
Yeah. But you'll get like shrines and stuff in some of the anime, or some of the city and what it looks like inspired by actual Japan. So you got that.
Yes. So that actually is a good segue into like anime culture and community, and what's the difference and like what are some things that, you know, that we notice from like the anime culture, or just what are things that we like about just like the anime community, and like what are some like fun things that we enjoy about it. Like personally, I love the fan base is really fun, and how they have like Anime Expo and stuff like that, where there's conventions for other like fandoms and stuff like this, but this almost like takes a whole nother it's like a whole nother beast, and I think communities can be very like cutthroat sometimes, and like very like a lot of fandoms can be, but it's just, you know, a lot of people, there's like a whole like purist versus, you know, like dubism, like
right.
It's just like, do you prefer the dub, or are you like a purist?
It's like, well, I read it in Japanese.
It's like I read the manga, and that's more important.
But I read it in Japanese original.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there could be some of that, but yeah, I think one big part of the culture is cosplay, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a lot of fun watching people like get creative and like dress up as these characters that already have like ridiculous proportions, but
they somehow make it work.
Yeah, they make it work pretty well. Yeah, I think it's. And I'm talking about more proportions, just like with face, because like a lot of like the anime faces are like really extreme.
Yeah, human face don't look like that.
Yeah, human faces don't typically look like that.
A lot of times the human body does not look like it.
Yes, that is very true also. But
I'm 27 heads tall.
And I think it's just fun to see the creativity from the community, and just kind of how like people can kind of like nerd out over like small details and stuff like that, and you can kind of nerd out over like cult classics and stuff, and just kind of I think it's a fun dynamic. But what do you guys think?
I think there's a lot of like passion between behind the, or within the community, with like translation and dubbing, and making parodies, and just a lot of art is produced from that community. A lot of people who watch anime that I've seen are very creative, artistic wise, and they just like put out a lot of like fan stuff. I guess you would say, based around it. Like there's big art communities within that who just do a bunch of fan art or do like fan characters or just a bunch of stuff. So there's like a lot of content that's created from fans within the anime community, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, around anime culture is that like when you find someone who's like into just in general anime, or if they're into one that you've watched and really like, it just makes for a good conversation. And then it's just something you can talk about a lot.
Yeah.
It's cool, like, finding those people and clicking with them and just like, oh, you watch anime? Oh, me too!
Yeah.
It's like, normally, like, sometimes when you bring it up, it just kind of gets looked down upon, like, oh, you watch anime? You're weird.
No, it's like, oh, you watch cartoons. And that's kind of the...
Like, oh, you're a nerd, or that's childish.
It's like, no, it's not. It's like, I'll have you know that this is primetime television in Japan, so you can shuck a fat one.
I love how at first you're like, no, it's not, like a kid.
I'll have you know. That's my snobby, like, anime fan.
Sounds like...
I'll have you know.
Like South Park inspired. Oh my god.
I'll have you know. But, yeah, and it's, I mean, like, culture-wise, this is considered, like, primetime television in Japan. And, like, this is, but it's funny here, like, you have to, like, go on streaming services, or you have to stay up late and watch it, like, on Adult Swim or something.
Or they're, like, special theater... like releases, but they're limited.
Yeah, and it's weird how each community like receives it differently. Each culture like receives it differently, and there like that is considered like prime television. That is considered like real art. Where over here it's like it's an acquired taste over here, which I think is very different. And that's just the difference that I've seen. But
yeah,
let's see. Okay, do we have any gripes or complaints about anime as a whole? Or like anything that we think that is like...
Weebos.
Who we are.
Weebos.
Can you expound on that, Merrielle?
Basically, weebos are these people who go beyond just liking anime, or just even beyond obsession. It essentially just becomes like an idol for them. Because like sometimes people say they're a weebo just because they like anime, but there's certain people out there who like it just becomes their entire world, and you go into a room and it's like anime galore. And
it's just like they just like want to be Japanese, and they're just like, no, I just want everything. I want everything. I want to be this character, and I want to marry this character, and I want to live in Japan, and I want to write manga, and I just want to do everything that okay, that's like, it's creepy. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's because I know a lot of people, like, I really like anime and into it, but not to the point where it's like your entire life, and it's just, as Nathanael said, it's creepy.
Like they started getting like body pillows, and they
name them, and they
almost did that one time, but
you almost got a body pillow.
Yeah.
What character was going to be on the body pillow?
Did you ever see Black Butler?
No.
Which character? The butler?
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Isn't it like Sebastian? Or...
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a brief period in my life.
Were you went weeaboo for him?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. It's just a little embarrassing. I still have a blanket, but...
You must atone for your sins.
See, that's not as bad. The body pillow has a lot of other weird implications.
Yeah,
so...
I thought about them, like, no.
It's like, that crosses the threshold, and I can never come back if I cross that.
Hey, guys, I have a butt. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Better not.
I think Nathanael does.
My brother had a Pikachu pillow that was really big.
Okay, that's different. That's not...
Yeah, that's like a cute Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we threw him against walls and punched him and kicked him and wrestled him all the time. So.
Okay, it's become less innocent, but we'll leave it there. We won't call PETA.
He had the audacity to beat up Pikachu.
His face went in like really funny. It was just like you punch him in the face, and it was like anime where the fist goes in the face.
But you beat up Pikachu. Think about that for a second. This is cute
He was a really big
character
Pikachu.
everyone
He could take it. He's used to,
You monster.
fighting. I know, we were terrible kids.
Monster. I had never owned a body pillow. Thank goodness. Man.
Has the idea of getting one ever?
No, never. It's never crossed my mind. Every time I see one, I'm like, man, that's dumb.
Don't go down that path.
Nope.
I'm glad I did it.
Absolutely not.
Nah, even though I got that blanket, it's super cool.
If any of our listeners,
blankets are different, so.
if any of our listeners have gone down that path, you can call the National Body Hugging Pillows Prevention Hotline at 502-357-32.
Or 1-800-WEEABOO. No,
That sounds like it would help them, get further.
WEEABOO's Anonymous. Well, no, to say, if you do have one, that's you, man. You do you. I ain't, whatever.
No judgment
Or you could do your pillow. I don't know.
But for me, or for us personally, that's a threshold we don't want to cross, because we know that once we go there, we're never going to cross back over it. So
Now, I would definitely get a pillow of myself on it. So
I think that just goes into narcissism. Or, you know what I mean? I think
Yes.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That crosses a different threshold. That's a weird.
that's a lot of topics I would rather not deal with.
And don't get a body pillow of your significant other either, please.
I won't. I will never.
Hey, then she could be with you when she's not.
Okay, so funny enough, they actually one of her friends was in a long distance relationship, so they made the sidearm
Oh my gosh.
cuddle pillow, but they they modeled it after him, and they recreated the tattoos on his arms.
Oh my
They got one of his
gosh.
shirts. And then they got the cologne that he normally wears.
That
and
seems
sprayed it on him.
I
bit
guess that's
much.
not as bad because
No,
It's an actual
personally,
person.
being far away from your significant other sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was different, and I thought that was funny, but kind of sweet. If you got a body pillow with someone's face and body printed on it, with someone that you know, and then cuddled with it.
I love when you say someone that you know. It's not your significant other. It's just some person you know.
Okay, fine, your significant other. And that's still weird.
Yeah.
Either way, it's weird. It's not normal. It's not okay.
Please, absolutely do not get one of someone you're not dating. This would be so bad.
That'd be so awkward if they walked into your room and saw that. Oh man.
It's that's.
It's that's me on a pillow. What is me doing on a pillow?
Oh,
That's not okay.
How did that get there? It's probably yours.
It's
Just
I'm
take it.
leaving now before I get kidnapped.
I'm getting a restraining order
Man.
on you and your pillow.
But do we have any complaints on anime itself? Not necessarily
Yes.
community, but yes, Nathanael.
Yes,
What is
there's so much fan service. By that I mean just there's a lot of
boobs?
yes,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
There's a lot of skin.
I think that's a big issue. It's just a lot of women get a lot of women in anime get sexualized and stuff like that. And I think as a community, a majority of people have been desensitized to it, but. I personally don't care for it. I think there's no need for it, and
A lot of times it's just over the top and
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about it?
Just because since I've watched so much anime, it doesn't bother me as much. But sometimes it is a little annoying when it's almost shoved in your face, literally. So, yeah, it's definitely you can tell they're trying to appeal to certain crowds.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's not necessary to do that.
Yeah. It's weird because there are rare instances of women fan service where there will be anime men who are scantily clad and they show off certain whatever.
Or a high school host club.
Yes. I was gonna say Free, that one swim team anime or whatever.
Wow.
All those guys.
It still was a good anime, though.
I'm sure it was.
It was beautiful, and
I'm sure it
I'm
was.
not talking about the men.
I'm sure it was.
Those
it was
beautiful boys.
Those
It was
beautiful abs.
It was a little of that, but just the overall anime was actually really well done.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's one of the better ones. But And it's funny because we're starting to see more on the other side of like women getting some fan service and like women getting like those guys who are like scantily clad and like not that much clothes on for no reason.
But still, it's just like.
But still, its majority of it has been women who have ample bosom and for no apparent reason other than. It
like beyond the size of like this could never exist in real life.
Like,
it's just like so extreme.
I don't even know, like triple D.
Some
then like skinny bodies. It's like proportions that don't.
I know.
Make sense.
It's just like how do you stand
with a waist of a wrist, and it's like how do you not like break in half? Like it makes no sense.
Especially just so much.
So much. Yeah, and it's clear that they're trying to appeal to a specific audience, and there's an audience where there's a demand for that. That's fine. If you want to look at animated women, okay, sure, that's your thing, dude. But I don't know. It's weird because there's some anime that I watch that there is fan service in it, but it goes further beyond that and it actually tells a good story.
That's not like the focus.
It's not the focus. You're right. But
it's still like Fairy Tail. Well, the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Fairy Tail sucks.
Really downhill.
That voice. Like anytime. So dumb. Man, good thing David's not here because he would rip because he hates Fairy Tail. I
hate Fairy Tail too. It's so bad.
First
I don't
couple
like it.
seasons, but then it just got so annoying. Like there was no character development.
Oh man.
And then it was always the same thing where like the main character would kind of like dominate like everything else.
That's what I felt the problem was with the first like few arcs. I just watched it and it was just like uninteresting to me.
Yeah, and then like the female characters, especially Lucy just didn't do anything.
We're just like, oh, we're all the same.
It's like, get out of here.
Get right out.
But that one got annoying after a while.
Or High School of the Dead.
Oh.
Have you seen that one?
Unfortunately, because you're just curious to see for yourself.
That's kind of what it comes down to, because you hear a lot of bad things about it. Okay, how bad is it really? Like, it can't be that bad. And then
it's that bad.
And then you watch it and you're like, oh, literally, it's all this is. Like, this is like borderline hentai. And that's a whole other weird place.
We're not going to go down the hentai route.
No.
There's some weird stuff
in
there.
gets weird. Yeah, it's hard to find an anime that doesn't have a lot of that, or where that's not like the main focus. It's not like fan service the anime, basically.
Right.
And
but there are definitely some that don't really have it. But even then, like in ones that almost don't have it, it'll still pop up.
Yeah, like the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There are moments where there is like a bit of fan service, like a little bit, but it's just for like almost comedic moments. Yeah. And then after that, it goes right back into story. Like, there's no like that. I think one of the purest story animes in Full Metal Brotherhood. That's probably one of the most like pure story animes. But
yeah, most of the times they get somewhat tainted.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much.
But speaking of our favorite animes, or speaking of Full Metal Alchemist, which is my favorite anime, let's go into what our favorite animes are.
Smooth.
Oh, I'm so smooth McGraw right here.
Man, I was gonna say friggin' favorite anime like of all time, or is there?
I would say favorite of all time.
Favorite all time.
That would be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for me. It's just everything in it is everything I would ever want, like in a story. Yeah. It's got comedy, it's got serious moments, it's got emotion, it's got sadness, it's got happiness. It's just got human, like...
It's human emotion.
It's just, like the human adventure.
Like human, like...
Existence.
Like ideology.
And ideology, and just like, it's really deep.
It's complicated.
Yeah, but also like really... It can be really funny, and you really connect with the characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And when something bad happens, you feel it,
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I need to think about it for a second. What about you? Of all time, what's your favorite?
Oh gosh, because I actually just recently finished watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
Because I've watched anime for a long time, and then I watched the other one first, and then I wanted to wait on watching Brotherhood because when you watch
them like back to back,
it's like, a little much, and you don't appreciate it as much because you're already like, I've seen this
Yeah.
before.
Or it's kind of like, oh, well, the other one did it better or whatever.
Yeah. But looking back on it, I officially like, all right, I missed out on this. It's so good.
So what we tell you. But
yeah,
it's weird because it's like I can't think of any other anime that I love more than than Brotherhood, because it, you know, like you said, like it does such a great job with telling its story, and like there's resolution with character relationships. It doesn't leave anything hanging. And
it doesn't go on too short or too long. It's just,
and it, you know, like the last like epilogue episode doesn't feel rushed. It feels organic, and man, like barring any animes that are going to end, you know, for like the next few years, like My Hero Academia or things like that, which is another, like that could potentially become my favorite. By the time it's all said and done, whenever it decides to be done, that might be my favorite because I'm loving the series right now. And it does a really good job with storytelling, but I think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood stands
takes the cake for that.
Takes the spot for now.
It's also good for people who've like never seen anime before.
Yeah, that's a good starter one. Like
it's like less extreme in some of the anime-ish type stuff that you'd see in other animes, I think.
And the thing is, though, it does a really good job of introducing you to like the anime like art style, the anime comedy style, and just kind of how like the characters are drawn like during funny scenes and stuff like that. It introduces you to that, and then it also tells a good story at the same time that you can get involved with. So like, I'm trying to get my fiance to watch it because I think she would enjoy it.
Has she watched much anime?
She has not watched a lot of anime. Her biggest issue is kind of like what we talked about before with the fan service, and she feels that a lot of the depiction of women is very unfair and just very,
she would love Full Metal
It's
Alchemist.
very like sexist or whatever. And I agree with 100%. And like a lot of the depictions of women are completely unrealistic and like not okay. But
Full Metal Alchemist, talk about some powerful women in there,
right? Yeah,
and like really good character development.
And it's not just like they're weak or anything.
No, they're strong in their own way, which I think is awesome. And then like Winry's a great character.
And probably part of the reason is the fact that a woman wrote it, which like shouldn't be the issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
A woman wrote and drew the manga.
Jeez, that's actually
Hiroma
really awesome,
Arakawa.
though.
Yeah. Have you heard of Silver Spoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, she also did that one. It's about like life on a farm, and it's kind of like a slice of life, but it's really funny, but also emotional.
Yeah. So I think, and that shouldn't be a selling point to anyone who is unsure about that. It's like, oh, a woman wrote it, so therefore you should watch it. No, that's not what we're saying.
It's just like, but it just happened to be written by a woman.
So happened.
There's no really like in your face about like feminism or anything like that. In fact, you know, the main character is a male.
Full Alchemist? Yeah, it's just like, it's basically just like,
no, the women are strong, and they just are strong. They're
just well written.
Yeah.
Which I think is the best way of going about feminism, is because like sometimes people are a lot of times turned off when it's like in your face.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, only the women characters are strong or whatever. Just like they're just like the men are like, it's like the opposite of what sexism would be.
It's just
like the men are
it's just all the characters in the show are strong in their own respective way.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like the men are strong in their own way, and the women are strong in their own way.
They're just written like people.
They're written like people. They all complement each other.
And it's not like the dumb blonde persona or anything like that. Like they're smart.
Yeah, they're really smart. Winry's a great engineer.
Yeah, and then Hawkeye is really good, right? Is that her name?
Yeah, Hawkeye.
There's like the little like Asian girl too in there too with the pan.
Oh yeah, she's adorable.
She's adorable.
But she's so strong. Oh, that's so
she's awesome. And then
Major Armstrong.
I was gonna say General Armstrong.
General Armstrong, my bad.
Major
is the boy.
Brother, who was voiced by Chris Sabat.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, and then I was gonna say other ones like My Hero Academia. That's a great one too. And I was gonna say I'm up to date with season 3 as it's running right now, and it does a really good job of like telling like real like human stories.
Yeah.
And in this world of heroes, and it's not a. But it's still like it keeps it down to earth, and it's like,
despite like how like over the top everything else is, it still like tells a very human story. Yeah, I agree with that.
I love a lot of the animes that have been coming out recently that tell like really good stories, but also like look visually stunning. I think that's another thing that kind of like attracts me to a show. If it's nice to look at, that'll help me keep me engaged, because I'm I need pretty things to look at. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have it. Ooh, shiny. And otherwise I won't keep my attention. But
yeah, and a lot of anime do a great job of that.
Of looking stunningly beautiful. I was gonna say, have you heard of Darling in the Franxx?
No.
That season just ended recently.
Oh, so the whole season.
The Japanese dub ended at 24, and I will say from like 20 to 24, it gets weird and almost like rushed. Like they thought they had more than 24 episodes, and they're like, "Oh crap, we gotta wrap this up." But episode 24 actually. It does kind of wrap up kind of nicely. It seems a little rushed, a little bit, but it's still kind of like
well done.
It still like wraps up all the loose ends, and up to that point, the whole thing looks really good. It's really pretty to look at, and it's like really well animated. And for the most part, it tells a really good story. Until the end, I felt it was a little rushed because they were like, "Oh crap, we need to tie up these loose ends right now."
24 episodes.
Yeah, it's like they introduced a new character at episode 20, and it was like. A new villain in episode 20, and
what do we do?
And they had 4 episodes to wrap it up, and I'm like, this felt like this should have been back at like 18 or 17. Like this should have been way up here, but even the way that they wrapped it up, I feel like it could lead to like a second season where maybe they explore more of the things, like because there was a time skip at the end, so maybe they can explore more things in between the time skip, or maybe it's something that happens after. I don't know, but I think that is a lot that we've touched on a lot today.
Yeah, I think to wrap up, do you guys have any suggestions for our viewers on what they should watch? Like maybe like 2 anime that we haven't talked about.
2 anime that we haven't. I think Cowboy Bebop is a good one. If you're getting into anime, Cowboy Bebop is a good one. Because that one I think is just 2 seasons, and it's just like 12 episodes a season, right? Or it's like something.
Well, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. I know.
Right. I know it's short. I know it's only like 12 episodes, right?
It's so worth the watch.
Oh yeah, but they're good. Yeah, that one, Cowboy Bebop, and I would say. I mean, it's hard for me not to say it, but my like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would be another good starter, like one of those 2, because both of those tell really good stories, and they don't rely on like fan service or like any like attention grabbing like action scenes or anything like that. They like characters are compelling enough to keep your attention. So I would say those 2.
I would say Erased. That one is 12 episodes long. It's kind of based in reality, but I don't want to like really give away what the premise is, because the premise is kind of the twist that happens in the first episode. But yeah, again, it's just based in very, very like human characters, and has a great story, and it's only 1 season, it's 12 episodes. And then another one I would recommend is Your Lie in April. So this one is about music, about a piano player who can't hear the notes anymore. And it's kind of him like dealing with being a musician and whether or not he should continue that. It's only like 24 episodes and only 1 season again. It drags a little bit towards the end, but it's so emotional.
For me, I'd suggest Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man.
Oh, same creator, right?
Yes, same creator. And
I was gonna say Saitama looks like the same dude. They're like but they both look like Saitama.
Both animes are very similar in the fact that the main characters are OP. It's like overly powerful.
Yeah.
And just kind of and basically defeat everything and anything in their path without much struggle or path.
And those anime are very over the top if you're looking for a challenge.
Yeah, it's and they're very funny too. It's very comedic. Definitely worth the watch, and it's if you're in a sad or bad mood, it's a good one to watch. But as I said, they're both like the main characters, also 2 very simply drawn. Or created, so it's not the usual anime character where they're over the top
with like crazy hair.
Yeah, I know. It's just a bald dude. Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say that's like shonen anime. We're not even gonna get into like shonen fight anime because then you go into like like screaming, yelling, tournament arcs, a bunch of stuff like that. But and like Naruto, Dragon Ball,
which are great,
all kind of fall into that category. Which are all great in their own rights. But yeah, the shonen has its own like
just
subsection.
Be prepared.
Yeah,
prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
So, I was like, are we just going to go around the table and say, prepare yourself? So, thanks for joining in to this week's Nerdin' Out.
Yeah. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Email us at nerdinoutpodcast@gmail.com. Or
comment below this video.
Rate us on iTunes.
Yeah, all that good stuff. I was going to say, tweet at us for future ideas and stuff. If you have an idea of anything that you want to hear us talk about, we want your involvement. We want you guys to give us ideas because we're running out of them.
There's always more ideas out there.
Yeah, and thanks so much, Merrielle, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Seeing you're in a slightly thought room, it's worth it.
Only slightly.
Right? I was like, don't break the facade of our palace room.
No, we have multi-layered AC, obviously.
Yeah, great view too.
I don't even know what that means.
Right.
But.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your wine cooler that's under your seat. I hope you
What?
that. Oh, we didn't tell you.
Oh, we're gonna have fun.
I'm taking that home with me.
Yeah, we give one to each of our guests as they come on. So
We have complimentary shot glasses.
Well, I'll definitely be back
with our
again
Nerdin'
then.
Out logo engraved in them. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.